Alright, welcome to FusionPit Presents. I'm Alec.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Jordan.
And today we are talking about the show that went down on Tuesday night, April 7th, with D.R.I. And I thought that show was amazing. What did you think, Jordan?
Honestly, I am depressed. I can't believe I haven't heard of them up until Tuesday. Tuesday, they were amazing. I can't believe it.
What did you think, Charlie?
They were fantastic. They were just astronomical. My ears are still ringing from their set, so that's how good they did.
Alright, and tonight we are going to go more in depth with some of the locals who partied with D.R.I. Tuesday night. So get ready, here it comes. Alright, setting the whole show off, we had Heffer Wolfe opening up.
Robert Serene was the vocalist, and my God, he was a good one.
Oh, definitely.
You know what? I think he stuck out probably the most out of that whole band with some of the antics he was doing, laying down on the ground, rolling around. He looked like he was having a seizure half the time.
But he was killing it. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
enjoying it.
So those shouted vocals, they were super gnarly, and it just had so much edge to it.
Yes, it did. And then I would have to say Zach playing that electric, man. I knew him in high school, but I did not think that boy can play, and he can play on that.
Oh, definitely.
The tempos that they were hitting, it was amazing. It was quick. It was electrifying. It was adrenaline pumping.
And I just love that little bit he was doing, like, between songs, just kind of messing around with the wah and just, you know.
All about experimental.
Yes, exactly.
It was fantastic.
And then on bass, we have Ian Santos. All of us have gone to school with him at least partway through our high school year. And Metal Chad even commented on his bass playing skills, and he is just phenomenal. He's sitting there just owning his bass.
He definitely knew how to put on a good show.
Honestly, they brought the energy. They started the energy for this. I honestly think that with the way they played and lined it up for all the other bands that were really good into the bass wise, that had more bass influence in it, I definitely think that they picked a good one because Ian was killing it on the bass.
Oh yeah.
I feel like as a whole they picked the best band to get the adrenaline going, because as each band went out it just got
better and better and harder.
Crazier. Exactly. They definitely picked a great opening band. Heffer Wolfe, you guys are awesome. After Heffer Wolfe, we get female-fronted VEXED.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. The female in that group, she killed it with the vocals. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've heard some vocals coming from women trying to do this, and to me, it sounded more screechy, or it was trying too low. But she kind of had the perfect mix right in the middle, and it just sounded great.
She had so much energy.
Oh God, the
and
energy
aggression.
from her.
She was running around, and a lot of those shouted, almost shrieked vocals were so, I don't know how to describe it. It was probably one of the most unique vocal styles I've heard around here in a long time.
Easily.
And then I also have to say the guitarist in that. At first, I seen the guy, and I wasn't gonna lie. I'm like, okay, this guy he should be able to play. And then next thing you know, he started playing, and I'm like, okay, this guy can actually play. And it wasn't a joke. He was having fun with it, and he was in the zone, and you could definitely tell the crowd was feeling it, and he was feeling it. He was on another level.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. A lot of what describes this band is aggression. They seem to be a lot more forward with their music, and it showed a lot, especially with the speed they were putting off, and some of the rhythms that were coming off, it seemed like they were about to punch you in the face with every note they had.
Well, I mean, it was well expected. It should be
Oh,
that
yeah.
way for the main person. I mean, what else would you want?
Good
Exactly.
point.
And just as they said, the speed, everything that Vex was just putting out, the bass player able to keep up with that, even throughout his own intense grooves with it. I mean, oh, you could hear him play the guitar just perfectly.
I definitely enjoyed how Vex was much more bassy with their music than Heffer Wolfe. Then that's something that catches me a lot, is how bassy music is. And it wasn't like super thick, but it was definitely more
It was more
apparent.
pronounced.
Yeah, it wasn't in your face. I guess that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
But it was definitely something pleasant. It wasn't something, oh man, it was do 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 do. No, it was actually something that went very well with the energy that the guitarist had and the
Definitely.
vocalist had. It went perfectly for it.
And the drummer, oh my god, he's sitting there just throwing out these intense grooves, keeping up with everyone, throwing in his backbone with this band and just how aggressive they were. Just,
I feel like even though the band was aggressive, he didn't just sloppily throw fills in like some aggressive bands have the tendency to do. A lot of the fills he did were tasteful and really were
technical in their own way.
exactly, and they kept the groove going and it kept the aggression up.
And it fit perfectly. I mean, if you're looking at him, you would think that, hey,
Okay.
this is gonna be a little different, and it's not gonna like flow together as one great band. And actually hearing it, he
And then
actually
you're
did
just
it.
like thrown for the loop of just like, oh my god, I didn't expect this.
Exactly.
I couldn't agree anymore. Vexed, you were awesome. All right, coming right after Vexed was rockabilly band Aces Over Jacks with Greg, Sean, and Joey.
Speaking about Aces Over Jacks, man, one thing that was a standout to him was that stand-up bass.
That cherry red.
Oh, God.
that
It
bass
was-
was gorgeous.
It was
Not only
beautiful.
was it gorgeous, but the person playing it could actually play it. And it gave it a different sound. You could hear the
Definitely.
old slapping of the bass, and it didn't take anything away from it, but it added something good. And I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen someone play a bass that quickly and that making it sound as good as how quickly he was playing it.
You know what? I wouldn't describe this band as aggressive. They're more energetic.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were all about having a good time, especially with that stand-up bass.
Yes.
That dude was going
He was having
everywhere.
fun with it.
And I gotta say, his vocals were very impressive as well.
Definitely.
Probably one of the best clean singing I've heard in a while.
It honestly had an old school kind of feel. Like
Yeah.
I felt like I was like back in the day, like in the 50s, because of the way his voice was, and with the old school bass, the stand up, it had the sound of the slapping, and just the whole style. It was different, it was unique, and it was awesome.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. And the guitar work, just oh my god, it blew me away with how good he was able to keep up.
Not necessarily heavy, but almost edgy flavor to this mix.
Oh, definitely.
Along with this, almost funk-inspired stand-up bass.
Yeah.
It honestly, with the energy from the bass and the style and the sound that was coming from the electric, it complemented it really well. And
Hands down, it did.
And something else that caught my eye that went hand in hand was the drumming. And I'm not gonna lie, I've
That
seen
drum set.
Oh god.
I've seen some pretty unique drum sets, but you guys definitely won it with the 5-gallon drum for
A 5-gallon bucket
Tom.
for Tom.
for a Tom. And honestly, it was different. I was like, okay, they're not gonna use it. Then all of a sudden
then
they
they do.
started using it.
You know what? That sound he gave off, though,
Yes.
It was perfect.
Exactly.
It fit perfectly for
With them, yes.
it definitely did. These guys are definitely a one-of-a-kind group. I highly suggest you look these guys
Oh,
up.
definitely. Hands down, you have to.
Aces over Jacks, you guys are awesome.
1, 2, 3.
And coming forth, we have Don't Care.
The guitars in this, and they killed it. They had a quick tempo to them.
I feel like their music was, to say the least, very, not only aggressive, but they both carried this I don't give a shit attitude. Like, they had fun with it, but they definitely carried on the monk here of this band
I don't
name.
give a shit.
Exactly. And I felt like even though they were carrying on this monk here, they definitely
They had
had a
fun with
good
it
time
still.
doing it.
Oh yeah, by far.
And I feel like, especially the vocalist, Chris Mulgard, his vocals were very different from what some of the other punk groups were doing that night. It wasn't super...
It wasn't...
It wasn't almost throat-shredding shouting, but it was definitely more melodic than the first two punk bands that opened up. And he definitely had this, I don't fucking care about you, I don't care about you, I don't fucking care. And that, I mean, I guess if he founded this band, it would not surprise me that that's where that name came from.
That wouldn't surprise me.
It definitely fits the all the guys are living that motto. They don't care when they're playing, and you can tell they were more in your face with the guitaring. They were in your face with the lyrics,
Everything.
and it was just literally I don't care.
And you know what? Something else that stuck out to me with this band was they were like almost classic old school punk before it got into, you know, hardcore,
Oh, yeah.
post-hardcore, metalcore. It's like Don't Care dug back into the roots and brought it back.
Oh,
and I
definitely, yes.
really respect that about them.
And now the bass player, you did fantastic. Your bass playing was, it just, oh god, it was phenomenal. The bass you had, beautiful, beautiful.
I feel like they were definitely much more bassy than the other two bands.
It was definitely more bass. It had.
It wasn't as bass heavy as Aces Over Jacks, but...
Well, it was a different sound. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
With Aces Over Jacks, you had a more like
kind of...
not soft, but fun-loving kind of feel to that bass. With this bass player, it was much
Aggressive.
deeper.
Yeah, it was just...
And yes, much more aggressive, quick, and almost scary. Almost.
almost, just a tad.
Just
Yeah,
a tad.
just there.
But we'll get to scary when we hit D.R.I.
Yes.
Yeah.
Their drumming was phenomenal.
Oh, jeez.
Like I said, they went back into the roots with punk, and I definitely felt that with the aggressive, heart-pounding drumming. It was definitely probably one of the quickest bands in terms of tempo that played that night.
You said it well. They had a quick tempo to them, and honestly, at one point, I was surprised that the drummer was able to keep going on as quickly as what he was doing with everything that he was doing. It literally put me in awe.
I do like that one bit though, and I can't remember which part of the show it was, but the drummer actually took over the vocal work for like one song.
Yeah.
Oh,
What was it, like Farmers or something?
Farm.
Fun.
Yeah. that chorus. Yes. They definitely had fun with that chorus.
They did, and honestly, it just proves the point. They don't care.
Exactly. All right. Don't care. You guys are fucking sick. finally, we are at the headliner, D.R.I. And these guys fucking killed it.
They blew that place out of the goddamn water.
Vocalist Kurt. Okay, this guy is probably one of the greatest thrash punk crossover vocalists I've heard ever. He's definitely aggressive, he's got the charisma, and he's definitely energetic. He was bouncing up and down that stage, he was yelling out commands, crowd was following. The pits he had definitely going.
And I'm pretty sure I seen one of the guys from their pits leave the pit with a huge gouge on his face.
Just
from how intense it was.
Oh yeah. The pits they had that he got going, it was insane. Especially for that size of a bar.
Oh yes.
Honestly, I didn't think that he would have that much control in such a small area, but still killed it.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, Spike on the guitar too.
Oh my god.
He was on a whole nother level with it. And
He looked like he was on a different world.
Oh, he was feeding off. He was giving us the energy and then feeding it back to himself.
Yeah, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
They were just going at it, and it was intense. And the MC, I want to say it was the MC, the guy that was helping him test the mics, he kept saying, "Oh, you're gonna get kicked in the face with D.R.I." I'm like, okay, it can't be that bad. Sure enough, it was a kick in the face, and god damn, that was good.
I told you.
It was amazing.
And their bass player Herald, just oh my god,
Yeah, he had one of the most
personal, just yes,
one of the most abrasive attitudes
yes,
within all of these bands. But he was definitely a funny motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
and he definitely put on a great show.
He honestly, I wasn't tired from listening to it. I was more tired of watching him and how much energy
they had,
and like the weird antics that he did with his bass, just as he was getting into
both
it.
him and Spike, they were like, I was like, what is that bass? What is he doing?
Honestly, it wasn't just only listening to it was really
It was
enjoyable.
watching it.
Yeah,
it was a whole show. It was just amazing.
Especially the drummer's face.
Oh my god!
When he was playing, let me go there first. He played amazingly.
Oh
yes.
I didn't think that a guy wearing a Deadpool shirt and in this kind of band would have the intensity as he did and have the speed. That guy was killing it.
Oh god.
Oh yeah. And did you hear how hard he was hitting that drum?
Yes.
It was like no fucks were given. Pow, pow, pow. I was expecting the snare to just go.
Exactly. I was about to say that. I was expecting at one point in the show that they were going to have to stop. Because
I was expecting the cymbals to go to shreds.
And you know what the funniest thing about watching him was? He looked so happy.
Oh, he
was the entire time he was like. And I was like, I want to know what drug he's on. I want that.
Yes.
But hey, I'm not gonna lie, he was killing it.
Oh
yes, perfectly.
No doubt.
But for a drummer like him, with as intense as his drumming was, to come in with a swimsuit on and just all these sweatbands,
and the sweatbands didn't even work.
No, honestly, at one point, when I seen him, he had the Deadpool, he had the swim trunks on, and then I seen sweatband on the head. And next thing you know, I blinked, the sweatband on the head is completely gone, and as he's rocking out, all you see is sweat everywhere, and him going to town. It was intense. I freaking loved it.
Oh my god.
D.R.I. definitely the best punk metal crossover band you will ever listen to.
Yes.
Here's to hoping they come back to Reading to party. Alright, this has been Fusion Pit Presents. I'm Alec.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Jordan.
You guys are awesome. Here's to D.R.I. Stay metal. Alright, and just as a last message, if you guys are a fan of or just getting into D.R.I.,
we encourage you to donate to
Spike Cassidy's Cancer Foundation.
You guys are awesome.